Good morning. Welcome back or welcome to Yoga with Ciara. It's day 4 of EMBER. And last night there was this really, really heavy frost here. And then, always when I'm pursuing an intention, EMBER, the deep embers in the cave of us, like the way the embers are out in nature, these buds that I'm getting pictures of. And then I was like, oh, what about the buds? And I was like, oh, nature is so resilient that it really reminded me deeply of the fact that even though, things are happening or you're feeling different sensations or you're thinking different things, in the deep of us, there is always wellness. And it's returning to the essence of wellness within us is the pathway rather than following all the different thoughts and feelings and all the things that happen. I can only talk from my own experience, but it's like this roller coaster of life. But then in the deep, there is wellness, there is wholesomeness. And all we have to do is return to that deep sense of connection to self, and all the turbulence of life, actually, it's okay, So same thing, even though there's a frost outside, out there, nature is so resilient. There is always wellness. And there's always signs of that burgeoning health or that burgeoning, potency of life that is always there, even in the deep of the winter. That's our thought for the morning. So it's Sunday, and so we're going to be moving, connecting, lying on the floor. And so come. Great. Nice to be here. So knees bent, feet flat on the floor, landing in. Arrive with purpose, unpacking your shoulders, wiggling your pelvis, finding your feet. Really feel that sense of aliveness between you and the floor. Maybe rock your rib cage from side to side and see, how would you, keeping your hands on the floor where they are, how would you connect more of your rib cage by rocking your knees from side to side? But it's not the lower back that you're focusing on, it's the sides of your ribs and the back of your ribs. How far can you roll on your ribs? And then lift your left hand off the floor and then follow your ribs to the right and then back to center. So what you're focusing on is the barrel of your ribs. And so I'm rolling to the right and really feeling my ribs as they roll along the floor. Left hand is just floating in the air. I'm just holding it towards me, or it's just hovering above me. As I feel, I'm feeling the side of my pelvis, the side of my ribs. I'm feeling weight into my shoulder. I'm feeling the crest of the ilium, the big pelvic bones that are the back of the buttock. And already feel your ribs. And then maybe lift your right hand off the floor and lift it a little bit up towards the ceiling. And now roll. And so now your arm isn't getting in the way. So what I've done is I've crossed my arms and I'm just focusing on the right side of my rib cage. Just gives it a little bit more purpose. Nice, land on the floor, pause. So for me now, that right side of my rib cage is massive and really huge and really mapped out, and the left side's really tiny. So let's go find the left side. So lift your right hand in the air, left arm is just resting on the floor, and just slowly, gently begin to roll and feel the left side of your rib cage on the floor. And I have this sense of like giving it a sense of my ribs are trying to push into the floor. It's not random that they're feeling the floor. I feel this feeling of, it's a little bit like a coordination happening. I'm giving them purpose and push backwards and sidewards as I do this. Nice. Cross your arms so your left arm is off the floor, and then continue to find the left side of your rib cage on the floor. Nice. Come back to center and land. Super. So walk all of you, like caterpillar all of you, over towards the left side of your mat. So the back of your head is resting just on the edge of your mat, or even your left shoulder is off your mat now, and you have a whole expanse of the right side of your mat beside you. Lift your arms overhead, but they're floating, and then roll onto the right side of your ribs, and then keep rolling until you end up on your belly. Okay, so your arms are in the air, your feet are in the air, and I'm feeling my ribs on the floor. And then roll back. So you come back to land on the floor on your back. Okay, so we're feeling the front of our ribs now. So hands are in the air. Roll towards the right, feeling your ribs. Go really slowly, feeling your ribs, feeling your ribs, feeling your ribs. There's a moment where your feet lift off the floor and then you roll onto your belly. And there's a feeling that I'm keeping my knees high, keeping my hands high as I do this. And then roll back and land on the floor. So you can do it maybe a little bit faster. Roll onto your belly, feeling the front of your ribs. And then roll back. I always think of the other Sineads when I start to roll. If you choose not to roll, rolling onto your belly and then rolling back. Nice. So now I feel the front of my ribs, which feel really nice. And so heel toe yourself over towards the right side of your mat. Caterpillar yourself. Notice how you do that. It's a very nice movement. Lift your arms in the air, roll towards the left, feeling your ribs on the left, and then roll all the way over onto your belly, and then roll back. Ribs on the left, and then back on the floor. And then again, rolling over onto your belly, feeling your ribs as you go, and then rolling back. Roll back onto your back. Last time. Roll over onto your belly. You know, when you were a child, this was the biggest event of your day that you could roll. So really amazingly, really reclaim your rolling. So heel toe yourself again, caterpillar yourself back to center. And just land. And just feel, you know, you've been squished in every direction by the floor. You've been surrounded by floor. So now the back of your body, the sides of your body, the front of your body has that experience of weight and connection. Bring your arms wide, drop both knees to the right, turn your head towards the left. And just feel your ribs as you rest here. So that mapping of your ribs. So now I feel them, those front, it's like the flaring of the front of my ribs. And so there's different parts of your ribs. There's some of your ribs that insert onto the sternum. So they're all locked in as such. And they insert onto the sternum. And then you get to that place, it's called the xiphoid process, which is just at the bottom of your sternum. And then you have just cartilage. It's like the skirt of your ribs travels down. And that's what I was really feeling when I was on the floor, is those flaring edges of my floating ribs. And so maybe bring your hands to your belly and just feel them. So come to your breastbone, the sternum, and then travel down along your sternum, travel down. And then there's a place where suddenly it's like, poof, there's a little hole at the end of your sternum. So that's the xiphoid process. This tiny little pointing out of a tiny, tiny little bit of bone. And then your skirt of your floating ribs happens. So now there's this crest of rib that travel sideways and outwards. And just feel that. Feel the pokiness or the pointiness of that. Nice. Come back to center. Keep your hands on your ribs. Take a deep breath down into your belly. And then as you exhale, I'm going to widen and unpack my shoulders. I just really feel that you can flatten and draw backwards through these ribs that we're holding on to. Again, breathing down into your belly. And as you exhale, your shoulders are unpacked and you're breathing backwards into the back of your ribs, and you're drawing the front ribs down into your body. Nice. Drop your knees over towards the left. Turn your head towards the right. You can keep your hands on those flaring ribs if you wish. And just feel your breath as you inhale. And as you exhale. So these flaring ribs really accommodate the expansion that happens through the diaphragm and the space that's needed for your breath to fill into your lungs. This is like the place where the pressure goes from the expansion of your diaphragm. It goes in loads of other ways as well, but this is one of the ways where your breath travels into. Nice, come back up to center. Arms wide, and then just sway your knees from left to right. And keep your focus on those ribs as you travel. I'm just noticing. Notice the difference between the rib cage, or the rib cave, and then the soft squishiness of your belly just beneath it. Can you notice the sensation differences between the containment of the ribs and the softness of your belly? As you inhale, as you exhale, really feel the deep, dark, squishy of your belly. In that sense, for me, like my ribs are very clear and contained and structured and strong. Super. Come back to center, drop your knees towards each other, interlock your fingers into thunder fist, and then roll over with your arms till they're flat along the floor. My feet are still flat on the floor. Come back up to center. So it's the same theme again of ribs, but now we're finding it in a different way. Over towards the left with your arms, feet are still flat. And just begin to travel from side to side, feeling the deep back of your ribs. And I'm even flattening a little bit extra through the back of my ribs and my back. So it's like I'm rounding my back a little bit into a cat. So I feel this sense of really flattening, and my head is lifting a little bit more off the floor because I'm flattening so much. And my pelvis is tucking under a little bit as I do this. It's like I'm really staying rounded for the whole journey of traveling side to side. We'll try it the other way. So if you arch your back and then travel from side to side, it's a very different experience if you stay arched. So arched is where only my shoulders and my bum are on the floor as I rock my arms from side to side. So just feel that. You're arching your back, your bum is on the floor, your shoulders are on the floor, but your mid-back has arched up and off the floor. Nice. Cool. Come back to center and just pause. Stretch out your legs. Pause. Nice. So come up onto your hands and knees. Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. And just squeeze your right hip towards your right shoulder. So we're squeezing deeply into the right side of the rib cage. But notice that your left side is flaring and is really big. So I want you to exaggerate and stretch more and more into the left side. Like as you breathe, feel that lengthening of the left. It's like a slow creep of space that's happening. Nice. Come back to center. And then squeeze through the left side deeply. So draw your left shoulder towards your left hip towards your left shoulder. Squeezing deeply on the left. And then notice that your right side is lengthening. And just pausing there. Every breath is a slow, steady creep of length. Space in your ribs, space in your waist. And then just begin to travel from one side to the other. Squeeze, lengthen. Squeeze, lengthen. And see if you can really lean into the lengthening. So to lean into the lengthening, I bring my weight more into the lengthening side. So if I'm squeezing the right side, then my whole body is traveling to the left, so I can lean more into the left side. If I'm shortening the left, then my whole body travels into the right. And so just travel, coordinating from left to right. Left to right. Nice. Come back to center. Bring both elbows to the floor. So both elbows are on the floor. Your hands are flat on the floor. And then reach your right arm long, creep it forward, and then just see what it's like to lean your armpit a bit closer towards the floor. So a coordination is happening here again. So there is it's not so obvious, but there is a shortening on the left and a lengthening on the right. Nice. Rise up a little bit. Take the effort out of that shoulder and then drop down gently again. Armpit moving towards the floor. And at any stage, you can undulate, you can rise. Don't stay in any strong discomfort. Move your shoulder. Find a sense of reaching, lengthening, moving. Let's bring both elbows to the floor. Lengthen your left arm long. Pause there. Feel that a coordination happening between the right side shortening, left side lengthening. Rise. And then drop. So it's just this sense of an undulation, or maybe even you could describe it as a rounding and then an arching. Rounding and then an arching. One last time. Rounding and arching. Nice. Both hands to the floor. Just do a shoulder shrug. Squeeze your shoulders back. Push your shoulders forward. Squeeze your shoulders back. Push your shoulders forward. Nice. And dropping down onto your feet. And from here, stretch your legs out long. And just wiggle your toes a little bit. Nice. Roll into your ankles. Super. Bend your right knee. Pull your right foot up towards you. And just look at your right foot. Let's get a sense. Can you turn your foot towards you as you look down at your foot? Stretch your leg out long. Draw the left foot towards you. Turn your foot towards you as you look down at your left foot. So I always feel like there's a functionality to the movements that we do. Sometimes in the beginners classes, somebody will start who hasn't done yoga, and I just see how compromised our movement capacity is through the lifestyle that we're leading, that people cannot look at their feet or bring their feet up towards them. Sitting on chairs has really locked down their hips a lot. So stretch your leg long. Again, bend your right knee, draw it up towards you. And so having the capacity to look at your own foot, to touch your own foot and to be able to look at it is not a given in our society, which is wild. That we wouldn't, some people cannot go to the toilet out in the wild, out in nature, because squatting is a problem. Bring your left foot up towards you. And so really reclaiming that normal is actually very connected to the floor. Normal is very flexible in the hips. It's normal. Nice. Roll into your ankles. Let's redefine normal in our movement capacity. Nice. Bring both feet towards you. Holding onto your ankles and then sitting up tall. So as you inhale, as you exhale, just feel that, and for me, even there, if I haven't done that movement in a while, I can feel how, oh yes, so all the time we're tracking movement in many different directions, in many different ways, in mundane and very ordinary ways. So sitting up tall, just closing your eyes. And just feel your rib cage again. So arch your back a little bit so that your ribs come forward, and then round your back so that your ribs travel backwards. So arch, ribs go forward, round, rib goes back. Arching, ribs forward, rounding, ribs go back. Nice. Come back to center. Send your ribs to the right and send your ribs to the left. So my head is staying center. So I'm not sending my head from side to side. I'm sending my ribs from side to side. So just feel that it's like a typewriter of your ribs. So you're sending your ribs to the right and your head is trying to stay center. It will move a little bit because you're all connected. How do you translate? That's the word for this. How do you translate your ribs from left to right? Feel the difference. If you rock your head from side to side, it's more like a side bending of the whole spine, whereas translating the ribs from side to side, I have to use something in my deep belly. I have to use something in my ribs and in my shoulders. It's the coordination action. So there's a squeeze from my shoulder to my hip, a squeeze from my shoulder to my hip. And then draw a circle with your chest. So not with your head, but with your chest. So your ribs go backwards, rib goes right, ribs go forward, ribs go left. And then in the other direction. Yeah, for me, that continuity of practice, turning up, being here, doing my walk in the morning, having my handstand practice, taking my vitamins. There's certain things in my day, my yoga practice in the evening, certain things in my day that really anchor me to now and to wellness. One last time, pull on your heels or pull on your shins, sitting up tall. And so just connecting into this moment in your rib cage, this moment in your breath, this moment in your body. As you inhale, as you exhale. Nice. So come rest on the floor. So Sunday, we shall do a meditation. Well, we do a meditation every day of this month, but Sunday, hopefully some of you can stay that can't stay during the week, or just see, maybe you're doing this tomorrow. So I think tomorrow might be a big day for a lot of people. I think schools are starting back, work is starting back, all kinds of things. So if you can take this time today to rest deeply, then do. I decided to set myself up with a blanket now. It's much more, so lovely. I have a bolster underneath my knees. You could have a table, a chair, a coffee table, a chair, a couch, or just a pillow of some kind. I have a block underneath my head for support. I have my hands on my navel. I'm really enjoying this deepening into the sense of my navel, my sense of that feeling of deep belly. So unpack your shoulders, unpack your pelvis, feel the support of the what you've created for yourself. Just settling in, finding your breath. And maybe just have a sense of how does your rib cage fall and soften backwards. As you breathe, maybe you can breathe between you and the floor. Having a sense of directionality into the breath. So as you inhale, breathe your breath backwards into the floor. And as you exhale, see if you can soften and settle and sink into the floor. And so as you breathe into the floor, breathe into that space just in the lower back, that sense of that arch of your lower back. So as you inhale, breathing into the lower back, as you exhale, let it sink and soften. And then placing your hands near your navel As you breathe into the lower back, get a sense of how your lower back and your navel are connected. That there is this landscape of belly that's just really beautifully connected to itself. So as you inhale, feeling how you widen into the lower back, fill into the belly with your breath. Noticing maybe new sensations or unusual sensations or connected sensations, and then settling as you exhale, as you soften, as you deepen. Every time you exhale, can you fall into the navel a little bit more? So let all the effort fall away from your breath and just feel that you're falling on the exhale without any effort down through the navel. Just as you exhale, there's a falling, there's a settling, there's a deepening. And you're really feeling, I feel like almost like an escalator or an elevator that travels down into the deep of me from here at my navel. So as you inhale, soft, no force. As you exhale, that sense of really deeply softening, settling, falling on the exhale. And then just release any effort whatsoever. Just rest in a sense of softness, a whole body, from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, from your fingertips to your shoulders, to the front of your body, into the back of your body. If you're staying there, wonderful. If you're able to, super, super. Lovely. Nice. Great. So I will see you all tomorrow. Another wonderful day of Ember. Those of you I'm seeing on the beach, it's frozen and the tide is miles out. So I'll see you there. I'll probably do a bit of shouting and screaming at the side of the sea and then get in. And so I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. And if you're able to stay there on the floor, then wonderful. I hope you have a very soft and deep meditation. And great. I'll see you all tomorrow. Ciao.